Welcome back to Python 1. In our last two videos, we learned how to write conditional if-else programs. It's time to take a closer look at Booleans, which are key to decision making. In this video, we will explore Boolean values, expressions, and variables. Let's start with Boolean values. There are only two, true and false. Like 1 and 0 are integers, true and false are Booleans. There are infinitely many integers, but true and false are the only Booleans. How do we generate Boolean values? One way is to write an expression that will evaluate as a true or false value. We know that Tina's default position on the xy plane is 0, 0. If we print out Tina's x position, like this, print Tina get x, our program will print 0. And there it is. Instead of simply printing the x-coordinate, let's ask a question about it. Is Tina's x-coordinate equal to 0? We use a comparative operator to ask the question. In this case, a double equal sign, and we want to know if it's equal to 0. Let's run our program, and we would expect to see a Boolean this time. Sure enough, there it is. Our answer is true. This Boolean expression evaluated to this Boolean value. Let's move Tina around and see what happens to our results. To start with, let's move her along the x-axis. So Tina, go 20. This time our Boolean is false because when we get our final x value, it is no longer equal to 0. We can also store the evaluation in a Boolean variable. Let's create one right here. We're going to name it isWest, and we're going to find out if it's equal to tina.getX. This time we'll make it less than 0 because we're trying to find out if it is west of the y-axis. And we'll write a little statement here. Tina is in the West Kingdom. And follow it by our newly created Boolean variable. It's not uncommon to write it this way, isWest. It sort of lets you know that you're asking for the results of a Boolean operation. So let's run this and see what happens. Very good. Tina is certainly not west of the y-axis. So our statement printed out correctly. Tina is in the West Kingdom, and that is false. Quick summary. Boolean or logical values are either true or false. Boolean expressions, such as this one, can be evaluated as either true or false. And Boolean variables can store the results of the Boolean evaluation as a Boolean value. If you study logic, you'll learn that logical statements are either true or false, even in language. A computer program uses logic to test situations and act on them. For example, computer circuits switch between 0 and 1 using binary code. They're either on or they're off. They run on logic. So true-false statements are really important in programming. Move Tina around the grid and experiment with different operators to see what kind of Boolean results you get. In our next video, we will define and use functions that return Boolean values.